Hello, everyone. I am Steve Panofsky, President of UBX Cloud. UBX and Veeam have partnered together to showcase the robust data protection capabilities of the Veeam Backup Agent. This, in combination with UBX's expertise and managed cloud infrastructure, is a winning combination. I'm going to take a few moments to kind of discuss automating deployments. The Veeam agents can be automated in a fashion that can scale very easily and very quickly and roll it out to a large number of endpoints. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first step in automating your Veeam agent deployment is to log into the UBX Cloud Service Provider portal with the credentials that you were provided in your welcome email. It should look something like this. If you have not received this email and with your credentials included, please contact your UBX Cloud account manager or email hello@ubxcloud.com. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log in with this information, and then I'll begin demonstrating the process of reviewing the dashboard and deploying the agents through an automated fashion. So here's my main summary dashboard that lists all the agents that I have available in my tenancy. Here I have how much cloud quota I have provisioned and how much has been consumed. And now the next step, I'm going to go through and deploy the Veeam agents. I'm going to select Rules under Discovery. I'm going to select New, and I'm going to name this UBX Deployments. Now, for the purposes of this demo, I only have one account associated with it. If I had multiple accounts, multiple companies, or multiple organizational units, I could select which ones I wanted to deploy the agent in. Now, the discovery method is pretty important. Veeam offers three very distinct options in deploying these agents based on what works best in your organization. A network-based discovery is the first option. That one allows you to define particular subnets for Veeam to scan and then to push the agents to any of the machines that meet your criteria are there. So I'm going to say, I'm going to call this network desktops. Okay. And I know that my desktops are in this particular subnet. And I also know that my laptops are in this particular subnet. Okay. Another option for discovery is one of my favorites, is using Active Directory. Especially in larger organizations who have spent a lot of time in creating all their organizational units and security containers, this option can be leveraged to target specific OU groups and specific containers for the Veeam agent deployment. So it uses what you've already built to go through and catalog and push out those agents. Custom query is also a nice option for typically larger and more complex AD environments where you want to target very specific containers within multiple OUs. You can construct a script that will accomplish that based on well-structured syntax that's available to reference online. And then the third option is to target computers based on CSV. You can click on this link and you'll get a template for an Excel spreadsheet. I'm sorry, a CSV spreadsheet. And then you can use various methods of actually filling in the data in that spreadsheet. One of my favorites that I've seen it being used with is when you want to log into a DHCP server and you want to export all the address leases on that DHCP server. Then you go ahead and you can clean up and you can sort that spreadsheet and kind of narrow it down into what you want the agents deployed on. And then you can simply re-import that as a list, as a targeted list for Veeam to deploy their agents. So it's a little bit more granular, and there's a little bit more of a use case associated with that, but it could be helpful in situations where you don't really have a lot of insight in the network, but you have an understanding of what agents need deployments. Okay. For the purposes of the demo, I'm going to go ahead and continue with my network discovery. I'm going to enter either a service account here, an AD account with sufficient privileges to install applications, or a local account with privileges to install applications. That's going to be important because if the user account does not have access rights to the workstation on the other end, then it won't be able to deploy the agent software. And it kind of takes the fun out of automation. Okay. Discovery filters are helpful where you can basically say, look, I only want the Veeam agent to target Microsoft AD servers or other applications or Exchange servers, or I only want these to target client operating systems or server operating systems. Actually, for workstation deployments, this is going to be really helpful because you can simply just select client operating systems, and by referencing the subnet, we'll scan every IP in that range. We'll find every computer there. The service account will query that computer object, and the service account will return to the Veeam agent if the OS type is applicable for deployment. And then if it is, it'll push the agent out to it. So based on your criteria and based on what you're trying to achieve with your backup agents, there's a lot of flexibility here. Okay, you can set up your email notifications in this pane here. And then this is especially useful if you already have backup policies that you've already defined that you want to push across the organization. So these backup policies basically define the interval of the backups, where they back up to, what is being backed up, and what types are being backed up. So you could say, okay, I want everyone in accounting OU to have everything in their My Documents folder backed up every night. So you can create a policy for just the accounting users, and based on their membership in AD, you can deploy those agents. And that's helpful because you know the usage pattern for these users, and you know that they're prone to deleting files or overwriting files, and it makes it really simple to deploy and get out there. So these requirements will change depending on your use case, but that's just one example that's very helpful. Okay, I'm going to complete my deployment, and then once I hit finish, the discovery will begin, and then I'll start to see agents checking into my console dashboard. Thank you very much for going over this with me today. And at any time in this process that you run into a snag or you need some assistance, you can always reach out to the UBX Cloud support team. The information is listed in the beginning of this video. Thank you very much.